Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Naomi Ruth Explains the Universe. This is Naomi Ruth. I just wanted to take advantage of this moment. I'm down at the Fisherman's Wharf in the Bay Area, visiting the Bay Area for the month, and I think I have Alcatraz behind me, which is probably a little ironic because today I wanted to talk to you about the topic of unconditional love. So unconditional love is just such a useful concept in this moment on the planet. First thing I recommend when you're starting this in your spiritual practice is to really find a term that works for you, because the idea of conditions or expectations or the resistance to them, like unconditional, can be triggering for people. So you can say divine love, you can say agape. Agape is the Greek term meaning God is love. And, this is the concept in Corinthians in the Bible that talks about love is patient, love is kind. So, from this place of looking at the perspective of Creator to human beings, and just kind of how much, I think the first thing that when you're practicing unconditional love, what this can really provide is freedom. So when I'm in this space and I'm really looking at the people in my life, my family, my friends, and employing unconditional love in my perspective, that means that, I'm very accepting of however it is that they are in my life. They might do something, they might say something that I don't like, but my basic assumption is always that the people who are in my life love me, and they want me to love them. And that's pretty much how human beings are. We're not really wired for hate or resentment or, whatever shows up, or even anger. But those are kind of like breakdowns on the idea of what people do or say can basically affect us. It takes you out of a space where anyone can ever really take advantage of you, because they're free to do whatever they do, but that doesn't necessarily affect you. And then it also gives freedom to that person to actually love you the way that they know how to show love. It's very important to remember that not everybody loves the same way. So, I'm somebody who really values equality and freedom, and so when I love people, I'm very live and let live, and, I tend to maybe, not ask too many questions, or just let people make their own decisions and respect their choices. Well, for other people, that might show up like I'm disinterested or uncaring or cold or distant. And so, I remember when other people, let's say, do ask me questions or want to know a lot about my life, that doesn't mean that they're trying to control me, or that they're trying to, do or say anything or judge my decisions. They just want to know more about me. And so it took me a while to sort of like get into that perspective, because I have a different way. Let's see, what else did I want to say? I think the other trick right now is that Venus is in Aries, and so it's really important to practice self-love. And the way that unconditional love as a concept, or divine love, or agape, can be useful to this is that you can basically adopt the perspective of a creator, of spirit, of something that's bigger than you, whether you say the universe or nothing, even if you're an atheist. But basically getting into the concept that the things that we do, how we are, the choices that we make, we have a very loud inner critic as human beings. And if you get into that big perspective, of something that could have possibly had all of this come into being, it's like, all right, well, if I said something I didn't mean to say, or like I didn't, meet my own expectations of what I wanted to do in my career this week, or, how I wanted to be for my boyfriend, you can kind of get how inconsequential those things are that we are so hard on ourselves about. You can kind of really get that, like, the things that we do, although they do have an impact on other human beings, there's no way that this really, like, comes into the finality or the magnitude or the significance, like, that we add to the things that we do and don't do when we make a mistake or we don't show up the way that we want to for people. So from that place, you can kind of offer yourself more freedom just to be human, to make mistakes, to, be messy in your personal love. We're really playing at this game of, like, not being source or creator ourselves. We are, and we can create our lives any way that we choose. And I invite you guys to just make something available to yourself in choosing the perspective of agape or divine love. This week, just try it on, and when you start to get down on yourself, or you're not really exercising that kind of compassion, just remember that the things that you do or say, like, ultimately, do not have the impact that we want to add to, our actions. And just see what shows up, and also see if you can allow other people to show up by taking that perspective of, like, oh, I wonder how it is that they love. The other thing that's useful is just to get into, there are times when it's useful to let go of unconditional love, and that's just like when it comes to expressing our own needs or wants. If you're a very spiritual, heart-centered person, empathic person, I actually, speaking for myself, had to get to a place where it was like, all right, sometimes, even though I can take the perspective that people are doing what they're doing out of love, that doesn't mean that it's always helpful for me to just, like, step over what people do. I have to learn to express when I'm hurt, or, when I do, I can allow myself to have an expectation that maybe wasn't met. And, to sort of design and express, like, how I like to be loved, how, how I love to have that received, and that can be really helpful to the people around you as well. So I invite you to take on all of these perspectives, pick up what's useful to you, don't take what isn't. And thanks for being with me today. Thanks a lot, guys. What I would love is if you can comment and ask any more questions that you have about the concept of divine love and unconditional love, and then also anything that you'd like to see me cover next week, any topics that you're dealing with in your life, questions that you have about the universe that you would like answered. If you'd like to have a free consultation with me about something that you're dealing with in your life and you want to see that get moving, you might be stuck in dealing with an obstacle. I'm really great at empowerment coaching around, having people get what they want, get the results that they want in their life when they're not seeing that, and really get freed up and have more fun in your life while you're on that journey. You can also contact me for astrology and tarot readings. Again, thank you so much, guys. You can reach me at naomiruthboone@gmail.com, NaomiRuthBoone@gmail.com. Much love to you. Have a wonderful day.